Let's go now to MS Now White House reporter Jake Traylor with new reaction to the ICE-involved shooting in Minneapolis. Jake, welcome to you. So what are we hearing from the Trump administration about it?
Yeah, Alex, we've heard from President Trump in the past couple of hours, a lot of White House officials as well. The central theme here is that they are accusing the Minneapolis governor and mayor of inciting insurrection. That's, of course, incredibly notable because the president has threatened multiple times that he would invoke the Insurrection Act if necessary, if there was cause. We heard from Attorney General Pam Bondi just moments ago on Fox News talking about the governor and mayor in Minneapolis. Take a listen.
Well, we saw the mayor said, F ICE, get out of my effing city. How is that not rhetoric contributing to this? It all is. And that's the shame of it. We sent Governor Walz a very strong letter today. We had been working on this letter. We got it out saying that he better support President Trump. He better support the men and women in law enforcement, because if he doesn't, we are. And that's what we're doing right now.
We're seeing a lot of these extreme accusations from the White House. We also heard Stephen Miller, Deputy Chief of Staff, who's really the architect of a lot of this, saying that the individual that was killed was a domestic terrorist with no evidence of that sort. The White House being really strong and vocal here in this moment, Alex, and not backing down or really providing any nuance in the situation at the moment.
Okay. Jake, thank you so much. We hadn't yet heard from Pam Bondi. I appreciate you bringing that to us. And joining me here right now in the studio, we have former Assistant Chief Counsel for ICE. We welcome you, Veronica Cardenas. What are your thoughts on all of this? Chief Counsel for ICE, is this the kind of thing that you would be able to look at and say, okay, yeah, I've got this. I'm able to defend you?
No. And I think that one of the biggest distinctions here is that we keep calling DHS federal agents, but they don't have the training that federal agents at the FBI or the DEA have. DHS is responsible for enforcing immigration laws and non-citizens. They are not prepared to be out and try to curtail protesters or peaceful observers. And we're seeing that time and time again. And the question becomes is how long before this administration actually acknowledges that truth?
Okay. So hang on. So these are not law enforcement officers, because that designation is something that we put to police, to FBI, to sheriffs, to state troopers, to that kind of thing. You're saying that ICE does not train their individuals, and you don't even call them federal agents.
Right. They don't train them the same way that an officer who is responsible for protecting American life, public safety. They're trained differently. And one of the biggest distinctions that we have are these warrantless arrests. They don't even need probable cause or go to a federal judge to show that they have federal probable cause to make those arrests. And so that is the mentality of the agents and these officers that are going out in the field. And we're seeing this clash because they don't really know the standards. And we're seeing that play out.
Are they trained in the use of a firearm? Are they trained at all in how to react in escalating situations, as we always know police are?
Right. They are trained in the use of a firearm. They're not trained to go out into the public and try to go within these big crowds of peaceful observers. We see, like in this case, there was aggression by DHS, whether it was ICE or CBP, pushing this observer. And we see that, and that's like the first part that we're seeing in this video. And so the escalation, because of the rhetoric that this administration has stated with absolute immunity for officers, right? Not coming out and even saying anything good about Renee Good, who was murdered. This is the second time that we're seeing this. And again, we're seeing them go straight to what they think will get them points, and calling this person a domestic terrorist instead of acknowledging that something is deeply wrong in the system right now.
What's with the masks? Because we've seen all of them wearing masks now since the first deployment last summer in Los Angeles. And it's almost clouded my memory of seeing ICE agents in the field before. I can't remember if they were wearing masks. What is the policy on that? And what are they doing now if this is new? Right.
This mask thing is something that's new. I don't think this administration is doing anything about it. They're not even doing anything about the shootings of Americans in this atmosphere right now. But the masks do give ICE agents this shield of protection. Not only are they standing and saying they have absolute immunity, but they're not even being like recognized because they're covering their faces.
Have you seen the videos that we've been playing, those 2 videos, the different vantage points? And I just want to say we're not certain whether those involved were all ICE, all Border Patrol, some from each area involved in the shooting. But that said, what was your take on what you saw there?
My biggest take is for the people that are watching that, dissecting it and saying that person should have done this. He should have done this. We're analyzing second by second. These things happen so quickly, and it can happen to anyone as we're seeing it. And so this is still, evolving. We don't know all the facts, but it looks like in this situation, just as in Renee Good, that this administration is quick to jump to the facts. And we need to slow that down. And we really, if we want something to change, we really need to understand what is going on.
From a legal position, though, the fact that this administration is putting out information that suggests we figured this out 3 hours into this terrible incident, we know what it is, this is what the facts are. Yet you had Greg Bovino, the head of Border Patrol, contradicting himself by saying this is under investigation. I mean, how much does that confuse everything from a legal standpoint?
Very confusing. And I would just like to point out that that's probably one of the reasons why ICE agents don't make the best witnesses before federal judges. They do contradict themselves because in immigration court, they're not held to the same legal standards. And so that flip-flop is okay. It's not okay in federal court. It's not okay when you're speaking to the public.
Former Assistant Chief Counsel for ICE, Veronica Cardenas, thank you so much for weighing in. We do appreciate your time on this very important day.